principal of Radnor High School. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. This is our first chance to give you a little glimpse into the life of, the high school. So I always ask this every year. How many of you, this is your first student at their first child at the high school? Raise your hand. That's a good number. Okay. Been here before? God bless you. I'd be home with my feet up watching Netflix. All right. So for those of you that are new to the high school, I'll give you this word of advice. I remember standing here 4 years ago, when my daughter was just going into high school, and thinking, gosh, this is so weird. I mean, listening to the speech from her principal and thinking, how the heck did I get here? She was just, a little girl in preschool 2 days ago. So here's my best advice, right? Enjoy every minute of the next 4 years. It goes so fast, you're gonna blink your eyes, and I tell the kids this all the time. You're gonna blink your eyes and you'll be getting emails about graduation, right? The high school's a wonderful place. The kids will grow here, they'll flourish, they'll become independent learners, which is always our goal. And we are your partners, so know that from day one, right? Our goal is to help not only our students, right, but you guys through this process, right? There's a lot of things that you're gonna learn over the next 4 years, right? About colleges, about courses, about prerequisites, about all different things, clubs, activities, more than you probably ever wanted to know. High school is definitely different than when we were in school. There's so many opportunities for the kids here at Radnor High School. We have an abundance of resources. They are truly, truly blessed in that respect. So tonight is our chance to really introduce you to all those things. I'm going to take a minute though, before we get there. We have a pretty good agenda ahead of us. And Ms. Manukian, my assistant principal, is going to lead you through all of that. But I'd like to introduce you to our team. So if Dr. Mack, are you here? There he is. Dr. Mack is our assistant principal of student affairs. He also is house principal for grades 10 and 12. Dr. Mack, this is his third year at Radnor High School. And then we have Mrs. Raines. Mrs. Raines, where are you? There you are. Hi, Mrs. Raines. This is her second year. We stole her from the middle school, and it was the best skill ever. She is our house principal for grades 9 and 11. And so she is also another assistant principal of student affairs. Ms. Manukian, can you stand up for a minute? Ms. Manukian is our assistant principal of academic affairs. This is her first year. We stole her from Lower Meriton, Won't hold that against her, but what a great skill that was. And Mr. Friel is our athletic director. You'll see him on the fields and outside. They are all incredible. I could not be any luckier to have the team that I have. I can't tell you how fortunate I feel and how much they do for our kids each and every day. Hours and hours of time that they devote. So before we head into the details of the program studies and all those things, I do want to share some really exciting news on the forefront for the high school. So over the past year and a half, we did a K-12 college and career readiness study, right, looking at whether we have the proper supports in place for our students. And we have 5 amazing school counselors, but they have so much on their plates, right? They're working with our students on social and emotional issues during the course of the day, and they handle all the college and career stuff right now. That's a lot to have a caseload of 300 kids and really be able to do it well, right? So one of the things that we looked at is how can we make it better? How can we give them more support and make sure that our students are getting what they need? We took a long look at the schools in the area, both public and private, and we came up with a model that you see up there that we were really excited about. And to be quite honest, we hope will be the model for all the public schools in the area. So beginning next year, with your child's class, right, the structure that will be in place is the following. All 9th grade students will have a single counselor that they meet with over the course of the transition year to high school. Right, that counselor will help them through that whole process, in addition to their house counselor, who will be Dr. Mack next year. Right, they will work together with all of us as well and their teachers to make sure that that transition is smooth as possible. Ms. Manukian is going to talk about different supports that we have in place in the high school, academic and social and emotional, but one of the things that we do have for our freshmen, right, is a freshman mentor program that Mrs. Raines runs. It really depends on what time of year that is. So maybe in September it's, learning to navigate the high school and where your classes are. Right now, their January meeting is going to be about midterms. What's it like to take a midterm at the high school? How do you prepare for that? What's the best way to do that? Right, so there are topics that are relevant to where they are in that transition period of the year. Once they move on from 9th grade, right, every student is going to have 2 counselors now. Unbelievable. They're going to have a counselor for social emotional issues that they can go to, and they're going to have a second counselor that's completely devoted to college and career. Incredible, right? This is the #1 high school for a reason. Right? We set the path for others. And this is going to be an incredible program that we have in place. I'm so excited for our kids. So know that that's on the horizon. And lots of new programs along with it. So with that in mind, okay, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Manukian. Before I do, just one thing real quick. One of the things that we want you to know is that our doors are always open, right? Not just to the kids, but to you guys. I give my cell phone out to all the kids, and I'm happy to give it to you guys as well if you ever need anything. Right? Like I said, I have 3 children of my own. I have 2 in high school and 1 in 6th grade. And the thing that's important to me, right, is that you know that we are here for them. Because I want my kids' principals to do the same, and they do. Right? And that's something really important to all of us. Right? We constantly tell the kids that. The door is always open. The door is always open. And to be really honest, it's the best part of our day. So know that we're here to support you, right, no matter what you need. Just don't forget that along the way. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Manukian.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Ms. Kepis has 3 kids. I have 3 of my own, and I'm going to echo the same thing. Don't blink. Kids and parents, don't blink. I have 2 in college, and my baby girl is a senior at Conestoga High School, and I cannot believe it. So while you guys are here, it may seem a little overwhelming in the next 45 minutes as we go through pretty much a 90-page document, which is called our program of studies. We're just going to be showing you guys little snippets of it so that you're familiar with it. Don't be overwhelmed. You're here 4 years, although it's going to go over the blink of an eye, just like I said. Here we go. Before we jump into that 90-page document, post-pandemic, this is the most important thing I think all of us need to keep in mind when we think about our students here. The adults in the building have this on the forefront of our mind, and I know you guys do at home as well. The moment we see an unbalance, red flags need to come up, and you guys at home need to communicate with us, and vice versa. The teachers will communicate with you. So while we want, rah-rah 4 years they're going to graduate and go to the top college in the country, we also need to keep in mind that balance for our students. That's got to be in the forefront of the next 45 minutes and 4 years as well. So this is the program of studies. You do not need to print it out. I'm going to show you where to find it online. If you think about 90 pages, it is online. I'll show you where. When you go to our website, we have a drop-down menu. On the drop-down menu, you're going to click on Academics and Program of Studies down there. Do you hear an echo? Is this okay? And you'll see the PDF of it. But you would also do a keyword search. So if you wanted to search for math department, if you wanted to search for AP courses, if you wanted to search for electives, there's also that keyword search in there as well. So choosing courses, that's the beginning part of this journey. Over the next several weeks of the middle school, the teachers and the counselors are going to be meeting one-on-one with the students and also in their classes and in groups. And they're the ones who know your students academically, as well as you parents as well. They're going to be making suggestions, they're going to be guiding your students, and choosing their core courses for their 9th grade year. Remember, we have to always remember that balance is important and what they're interested in as well, especially when it comes to the choices of the electives that we give to our students here at the school. So the teachers are going to make recommendations for courses for our students, but also keep in mind, you know at home what their at-home responsibilities are. Are they part of a cultural dance group that meets 4 nights a week? Are they part of a basketball team that travels far away? The teachers may be recommending honors course after honors course after honors course, but you know at home what your child can handle, and so keep that in mind as well. Are they able to work independently at home, or do you need, as a parent, There's the seminar, integrated, and AP, and those are weighted in a certain way. We have honors courses and advanced courses, and a few of our departments still offer college prep courses, but the bulk of the courses in the program of studies you'll see are going to be in the honors and the advanced. Remember, the teachers have been working with your children for the last few years of the middle school. They know their experiences, they know their interests, they know how they work in class and out of class, and so they'll be recommending which level as well. I'm going to step away for a moment if you guys want to take a picture of this. And I know there's compete dynamics, so I'm not going to read all of this, but these are the 4 levels. Our department chairs are outside, and they always say, the parents ask me the same questions, what's the difference in the levels? I'm going to give you guys about 40, 50 seconds to read it over. This is also in the program of studies. You'll notice keywords, extremely rigorous. You see in that top, extremely rigorous. The honors courses as well, higher order thinking skills, challenging pace. The advanced courses, there's challenging competitive college work. Be mindful of those keywords as your children come home with the recommendations that their teachers and nurse counselors give them. Again, this is in the program of studies. Now let's take a look at the curriculum and what the 4-year schedule is going to look like for our graduates here. Before we do that, I took that from a video that we had on YouTube of last year's graduation. That moment is going to come in a blink of an eye. You will not have felt that much pride for your child, and students who are here, you're in middle school now, the moment you do that, you'll never forget that moment. You never will. That's a huge moment. But until then, there's a lot of work to do. So to graduate from Radnor High School, we need 22.5 credits. A lot of our students graduate with more, 26, 27 at times. And this is a breakdown. So it's 4 years of English here. And you can be more than welcome to take a picture of this, and it's in your program of studies as well. And let's show you some examples. Also, a graduation requirement on the Keystone Exams. So students who graduate in the state of Pennsylvania with a high school diploma must pass these 3 exams. An algebra one, the biology one, and the lit one. Traditionally, and this was pre-pandemic, students needed to score a proficient or advanced. So there are 4 levels in the scoring: below basic, basic, proficient, and advanced. And students needed to get a proficient or advanced in all 3 of those in order to graduate. Post-pandemic, they changed them. So there's additional pathways. They're all listed in the program of studies. But the gist of it is, now out of those 3 exams, you need to get proficient or advanced in one of them. And there's also a combined score with the other 2. If you didn't get a 1500 or higher in the other 2, but let's say in one of them you got something so high that the total combined score, and those scores are all written in the program of studies, it takes the edge off a little bit because you don't have to get the proficient or advanced in all 3. If you score really great in one of them, sometimes that makes up for the other 2. There's other ones as well. If you have a certain SAT score or higher, that's also a pathway. If you have an IEP and you met all of your IEP goals, that's also a pathway. So the state of Pennsylvania graciously gave the students alternate pathways in order to ensure graduation. A typical high school schedule. You see 7 icons here. We are an 8-period day. So incoming freshmen, if you have an open space in your schedule, you will have a study hall. You won't have a free period. Free periods are earned, and they're a gift to our 10th, 11th, and 12th graders if they have an opening free. You will have a study hall, and in that study hall, it's just a time in the middle of your day. Sometimes it's in the beginning of your day, sometimes it's the end of the day, just to get some work done under teacher supervision. Okay, but these will be 7 out of the 8 classes. You'll see the program of studies, there's a piece of paper. It's not filled in, but it will be filled in. Grade 9, you'll see, here's an example. This student here in grade 9 had an honors English class, an honors social studies class. They had an advanced geometry, advanced biology. They had health and wellness. They decided to take their tech and business class their sophomore year and their junior year. They took 4 years of Spanish, you can see, and they chose Essentials of Cooking for their elective. We have about 5 or 6 of these examples in our program of studies for you to take a look at. Now, yes, we recommend there's a minimum of 6.5 credits for our freshman year and thereafter, but you will notice in a few other examples that I'll show that our students take more than 6.5 per semester. We do recommend 5 solid academic classes every semester. For example, world language for most colleges, they want to see more than 2 years, but to graduate from here, there's 2 years. Going back to our student here, you see they took Spanish 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A, and that is recommended. And then we have electives. Explore your interests, lighten your demanding class load, have fun, and maintain balance. At the beginning of the school year, I had a student come into my office and say, Ms. Manukian, can you give me a list of all the honors electives? And I said, why? And he said, because I want a weighted GPA for my elective. And I go, well, how about we find something you love? In the middle of your day, what do you want to do? He goes, I just want honors. And it took a deep conversation to say, let's just explore something you love. Don't think about college just yet. What do you want to do? You want to cook? Do you want ceramics? I'm all about students taking ceramics. All 3 of my kids took advanced ceramics. I have one of those beautiful treasures at home. Now they're in college, but I get to use their bud bases. Parents, tell your kids to take advanced ceramics. I'm a fan. No, because I'm just saying these treasures. Yes, there are college benefits to electives, but also keep in mind that do something you love at school in the middle of the day. These are the departments that offer electives. The bottom of the screen is really important. You can't take advanced ceramics without taking intro to ceramics. So there are some prerequisites to some of our electives, and there are some grade restrictions. Some of them 9th graders cannot take, some of them 10th graders cannot take. So be sure when you're going through the program of studies you take note of that. Here's some specific classes. I'll step out of the way. And you'll find it, once you get to that landing page, you go to Academics and Program of Studies, you'll see there's a PDF of our elective selection guide. Don't be overwhelmed at this. Yes, we offer 4 pages of electives. What's in yellow is what freshmen can take. So once you go to that website back here, I'll show it again. When you find that it's going to be a different number next week, 23, 24, the elective selection guide, you'll click on it, it's 4 pages. We offer so much. But again, if it's in yellow, it's something that freshmen can sign up for. Okay? Side note, when you're a sophomore, you may have to take beginning swimming as a PE elective. At the end of your freshman year, you're going to be tested in swimming. If you pass the swim test, you can take whatever elective you want for PE your sophomore year. If you don't pass the swim test, you have to take a swimming class because we want everybody here able to swim. It's a life skill, it's a life-saving skill. So that's going to happen at the end of your freshman year, you'll be tested for swimming. All right, special programs. We have Project Lead the Way courses. They're weighted courses, they're very similar to our AP classes. 9th graders are not encouraged or allowed to take AP courses. However, we do have Project Lead the Way courses. The ones that are underlined are our intro classes, and freshmen are able to take those. Now, you do earn college credit if the college that you're applying to will accept it. It's not an AP class, but it is weighted. You do have to get an 80% or higher in the course, and an 80% or higher in the end of the year exam in order for a college to accept credit. But that's available to our 9th graders. We also offer dual enrollment with the University of Pittsburgh. This is for our juniors and seniors, but it's something for our 9th graders to keep in mind. It's an honors class. It's a linear algebra honors class, but you do get college credit for it, given the University of Pittsburgh's transcripts. We have a super cool opportunity for our students to Delaware County. There's 5 schools that that our students can go to, schools of courses. They're in construction technology, health and biosciences, hospitality, tourism, human services, logistics, and engineering and computer science. Take a look at what a student's schedule could look like if they wanted to apply for this program. Their freshman year, it's not open to them. But their sophomore, junior, and senior year, they could either take courses there in the morning, and we do have a bus that picks them up from home, takes them to school, off campus, brings them back to Radnor High School, and they take 4 courses here in the afternoon. Or this student did it the opposite. They took their 4 courses here in the morning, and then they took the bus, took their career courses, and then they came back. So they get a high school degree, but they have a lot of experience in a certain career field. All right, there's a lot. How are we going to support your students through this? This is what makes Radnor High School the top high school. This is what makes it magical. These are all the resources that our students have. Let me talk to you a little bit about Lunch and Learn, and once we go over the Bell Schedule, I'll refer to this again. Lunch and Learn is something that we just started this year, and it's on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Teachers in the middle of the day for 30 minutes are in their classroom ready to tutor any one of their students. It used to be where students were in class all day, teachers were teaching all day. If you wanted to meet with a teacher, maybe you could after school, if your mom could pick you up a little bit later. But this, you don't have to worry about finding a schedule or coming to school a little early. In the middle of the day for 30 minutes, every teacher is in the classroom and their students are coming in and getting help. It's been a phenomenal experience this year. We also have the Writing Center. Almost every period, there's an English teacher sitting in our Writing Center, which is a pretty large room in the back of our library, waiting for students so they could edit their essays, help them on writing assignments. So when your child has that study hall, they can go to their study hall teacher and ask for a pass to the Writing Center and get some help from an English teacher. Same with the Math Center. Almost every period of the day, we have a Radnor High School math teacher sitting in the Math Center, waiting for a student to come in. So you never have to say, oh, I didn't understand that section, and the teacher just moved on to the next day. If you didn't understand that section during your free period or during your study hall, go to the Math Center, because one of our teachers is in there. Same thing for world language. We have a world language center. Our world language teachers are in there. If you have a question about your Spanish test, or you want to prepare for your German test, go to the World Language Center. Academic Success Center is an elective course. And it's like a study hall, but with a resource teacher in there. So if students are having ASC in their course load, that means they have a teacher and they're saying, all right, it's Monday morning, let's open your planner. What do you have this week? Oh, Thursday you have a test? Did you turn in all of your math homework? I noticed in your history class you're about a week behind in homework. So if your child is recommended for an ASC, it's because they just need a little bit more help organizationally, and we have a teacher from campus there guiding the student every week. Let's get this done, let's get this done. Teachers also have office hours, an extended learning program. 4 days a week, sorry, I need some water. 4 days a week after school, we have teachers who are basically offering free tutoring. They're here, after school, students come. We even have a bus that takes these kids home. Students go to ELP, they get a bus pass, they get on the ELP bus, and they go home after school. If they're athletes, let's say, and they can't stay after school and go to the classroom where the teacher is, we also have teachers on Zoom from 7 to 9 p.m. as well, waiting there. You guys have the link. You pop in, there's a math teacher, you pop into the math teacher's Zoom. There's an English teacher, you pop into the English teacher's Zoom. Our teachers are available for you during the day, during the afternoon, and in the evening, which is phenomenal. We also have essential courses, and these are recommended by teachers. It's skill building classes. We have essentials of math, essentials of reading, essentials of writing, essentials of comm strategies. You're welcome to take a picture. Let's talk about what you guys are going to be doing all day long and when. So I told you earlier we have 8 periods every day. Our 8 period days are Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Students, this may look overwhelming. You're going to get it in a few days once school starts. The lunches, you notice there's an A lunch, a B lunch, and a C lunch. You go to class first period, second period, third period, fourth period. Your schedule is going to have either a 5A class and then a 6B class. That means your lunch is during the C period. Your schedule may have first, second, third, fourth. It may have 5B and it may have 6C. The letter that's missing is B. That's when you have your lunch. You have a B lunch. Or you may have 5A and 6C. You'll have a C lunch. So whatever is missing, whatever letter is missing, that's when you have your 30-minute lunch. Kids love getting their schedules because they call their friends, or actually nowadays they just text their friends. What's your lunch? What's missing? What do you not have? If you don't have the A or the B, that means you have C lunch. So on and so forth. And then there's 7th and 8th period. This is Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. They're about 41 minutes each class. Now we have our block days on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays, the kids go to their odd number classes. So they go to first period and third period in the morning. It's about an hour and a half long. First period and third period, those are the odd numbers for Wednesday. And then they have that lunch hour that I was talking to you about. It's an hour. So students have an hour in the middle of the day. They go to a long period first period, a long period third period, and they have an hour. Now the teachers in the building are divided up into 2 groups. Some of them are going to be in their classrooms for the first 30 minutes, and then they're going to eat and restore the next 30 minutes. Some of the teachers are going to eat and restore the first 30 minutes, and they're going to be in their classroom the second 30 minutes. Now some students learn and learn. They go to their math teacher, they eat their lunch with their math teacher and they get help, and then they go to their science teacher the next half. Some students do learn and learn. Some students lunch and learn. That's healthy. You gotta sit back, you gotta eat, you gotta be with your friends. If you need help, go get help. Some students lunch and lunch. Sometimes you gotta do that. If it's an easy week or you're just like, you just wanna be with your friends, there's so much to catch up with, you can lunch and lunch, but don't get in the habit of lunching and lunching. Yes, you have an hour, 2 days a week. Most students don't lunch and lunch. You can see how fast-paced school is. You want to take advantage of the time your teachers are there. And then they go in the afternoon, 5th period and 7th period. That's Wednesdays. Thursdays are the evening classes. You go to 2nd period and 4th period, you have the lunch and learn, and then you do your 6th period and your 8th period. Alright, let's talk about scheduling. Look through that program of studies together, parents and kids. It's on the website. Pick 5 electives. Remember, we have 4 pages. We really want to give students their first choice elective. We try really hard. Mrs. Kempis and I in the summer. Sometimes you won't get your first choice. Sometimes you won't get your second choice. Sometimes you won't get your third choice. But take some time going through those 4 pages of electives. That's where you have a huge choice in the middle of your day what you want to do. Pick those 5 electives. Remember, there's prerequisites, there's grade restrictions on all that are open to 9th graders. And keep in mind that we want 6.5 credits every year. I'll step back for this. These are important dates to remember. The teachers, the first couple weeks of February are going to be making their recommendations. In the high school, the midterms are done by then. The teachers use that information to decide what they're going to recommend for each of their students the next year. You pick your electives. That's your job, students. You're fully in charge of that. Teachers make the you'll see teachers' recommendations in HAC, and then the counselors, once all the recommendations are set, the counselors will go through with the students, and sometimes the students say, no, that doesn't sound right, or I think there was an error. So we could edit, revise, and adapt. April 14th is the hard deadline. No schedule changes after that. After we get all the information, that's when we either have to hire more teachers, that's when we have to either add more sections or take away sections. That's when we start building our high school building schedule. So if there's any changes, it needs to be before April 14th. We're going to be having question and answer time. The Winterfest will start shortly. But before that, keep in mind that moment where
Thank you, Ms. McKee. So I'll just touch back real quick on a couple of things that, Ms. McKee brought up about supports. One of the things that we didn't have up there is our mental health supports as well. So we have a couple of things at the high school to help with our students. We have RHS Hope, which is our student assistance team, right, which is very similar to what they have at the middle school, MS Hope. Right, so if you see one of your friends is struggling, you think that your child is struggling, right, you could reach out, and that gives a second set of eyes, right, on your child, right, to see what are the teachers seeing in class, right, what are our friends seeing in class if there's a concern. We also are fortunate to have 2 psychologists on staff, and in addition to that, we have 2 mental health clinicians from Lakeside Counseling Services, who are both trauma trained. So if there is, if your child is struggling with mental health, it's always nice to have a touch point in the high school, right? So if we see that they're struggling, we can always put them in touch with one of those counselors. And then we also have Miss Nadine Carroll, who many of you are familiar with from middle school as well, right, who is a drug addictions counselor from the Karen Foundation. So we have a wealth of resources for social and emotional pieces as well. To the academic pieces, right, the one thing that I've always said is, Ms. Panucci went through all the different resources that we have, whether it's the Math Center, the Writing Center, the World Language Center, the Extended Learning Program. Right? No other school has tutoring after school with its own teachers. Like, it's just unheard of. Right? Our teachers go after school and tutor, and they make anywhere from $80 to $100 an hour. Don't pay it. It's a waste of money. Right? You've got the Math Center with our own teachers 8 periods a day. You've got the Writing Center with our own teachers every day. You've got the Extended Learning Program both after school, and we do provide transportation on Mondays and Wednesdays when we have it after school, and then we have it at night as well over Zoom. Right? These are our own teachers that know the curriculum and know all the things that's going to be covered over the course of the year. Right? So utilize those resources. And to the balance piece, right, that's one of the most important things that we can stress. Again, we want you to challenge yourselves, always challenge yourselves, guys. Right? But at the same time, we want to make sure that you're not overloading yourself. If you're staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning and you feel like you can't breathe because you can't get your work done, that's not good. Right? So take the courses that you love, take the courses that are going to challenge you, but also the ones that make sense. And it's not just academics. Right? School is obviously always first, but you want to branch out there. Right? Whether that's playing a sport, joining a club, joining an activity, right? Being in the play, doing high Q, which is a quiz bowl. Right? There's so many different things. We have our 120 clubs here at the high school. There's got to be something that you like. Because that's the way you meet friends, right? And that's the way you get involved with things outside of academics. And that's what creates a well-balanced student. Right? So tonight, when you go out, right, we've got the department chairs, like we said, that are going to be out there talking about the different programs that we have. There's also a lot of clubs and activities. Go up and find out about them. And then take some time. Right? Parents, I'm giving you homework. Or we're giving you homework. Right? From now until the time when we do course selection, right, go online at that program of studies and look through there. Use that 4-year planning sheet. Really sit down with your child. I'm not telling you to pick every single course that they're going to do from now until senior year, right? But get an idea of what they love and what they want to take. Because if it is something like engineering, right, there's a first course that you have to take. And if you want to make sure you take all the art courses that you possibly can from the time you're a freshman to a senior, you're going to have to fit that in, right? So take the time to really look through and see the different programs that we have from start to finish. And use the resources that are in there to do it. Okay? Ask questions. Right? When you're down at the middle school, they've been through this a million times with us, right? Ask Dr. Wiley questions. Ask your guidance counselor questions. They know how to guide you. And remember, when your teachers make those recommendations, right, they know you better than anybody outside of your parents. Right? They see it every day in class. So if they're recommending you for a course, really know that they're doing what they think or recommending what they think is best for you. And if you override, that is your choice. Right? right? But you have to know that if you override into a course, and parents, I need you to hear this part, right? If you override into a course and your student is struggling and they end up dropping back down, they end up with a withdrawal in their transcript. That doesn't always look great for colleges. Right? So really listen to what that teacher's saying. Have a conversation if you don't agree. Right? Start that dialogue. That's really important. You know, we've seen over the years that students, you know, they can be successful when they override, but a lot of times they're not successful, especially with math. Right? So just keep that in mind, that the teacher's always doing their best to recommend where your child's going to be successful. Okay? And remember again, our doors are always open to you guys for any questions. We're actually going to stay after, all four of us, if you guys want to come up and talk to us, or you can head out to Winterfest. But we want to thank you guys for coming tonight. This presentation, we will put the PowerPoint online on the website. Dr. Mack has been videotaping this all night, so there'll be a recording as well. Probably within the next week it'll be up and running, but in the meantime, you're always welcome to reach out with questions. So thank you guys so much for coming out tonight, and enjoy Winterfest.